And we are back for more action in this best of three. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the BTS Summer Cup. We've got Espada versus Final Tribe. We're already in the draft, ready for game 2. What are you thinking, Liz? We're going to get best of 3 here?
I mean, yeah, I certainly hope so. The game was so fun. We have a new team, though, the Creeps. The Creeps were the MVP of the last game. What do you think? Are they going to be the MVP in this game, too?
I mean, it could be. Like, you got actually, in fairness, I would actually
the Creeps,
say,
man.
the Creeps, they done a lot, but I have to give credit to BZZ. That stop on Charlie's TP won them the game. That was the definitive.
You can say whatever about those Creeps, but they're objective-based little creatures. They
are committed.
They are committed. Much better than my pub teammates. These guys at least always go for objectives. That's a huge
not always.
Plus.
Sometimes, like, if there's a hero in front of those objectives, they chase after them instead. They're almost just as bad.
No, it's their objective to kill heroes as well. You know, and there's no heroes. They aren't stuck somewhere in the jungle AFK farming. They aren't shadow amuleting themselves on top of bounty runes. They always go for whatever there is to take. But it's not jungle or bounties. So in my mind, that's a huge plus for them.
That's a fair way of looking at it. But in fairness, there is no one that typically builds shadow amulets in this game so far. And also no hero that typically does it, as Chen is the opener. Well, he builds a Glimmer Cape, but he at least finishes it off. He doesn't just leave it there.
They steal that Chen and instant Doom response. I actually expected this from the Final Tribe last game. I called the Winter Wyvern Doom.
Oh my god, the Chen hate.
Yeah, this is how you deal with Chen. This is, I mean, the last game, Chen, in like being objective, he didn't do a lot. He did pressure the lane, but he didn't completely stomp it or win it. This game, it's gonna be just as hard. You're gonna be either playing Chen versus Doom or Chen versus Witch Doctor, because these two heroes are most likely not gonna be on the same lane. And we saw how the Witch Doctor versus Chen lane went the last game. Versus Doom, it's a very similar story. On level 1, you can zone the Doom out if he has no help, which is very unlikely to happen. But your penitence kind of helps you there. However, as the game goes by and he gets level 2 3, he takes that Devour. Your creeps are kind of just fresh meat for him. So overall, the Venomancer.
Very quickly out of that in the first phase.
It's not bad. Full dirty mode. Yeah, we're going full dirty mode with the Venom. We haven't really seen this hero being picked as a first phase pick, and Witch Doctor once upon a time was decent versus Venom. It still is because of the Voodoo Restoration. It doesn't completely help versus Venom's dots, but it does help. So an interesting pick. We'll see what they decide to do with it. Usually we'd see him in a dual offlane role, like in the last few series that we watched, that we casted, Venomancer was always a core, but on that dual offlane situation, or basically they would roll Venomancer wherever it was favorable for him to be. Right now versus these two heroes, he can lay versus Doom, but it's not really great. If there's a slow that comes from a side and Venomancer is slowed, so the Doom can catch up to him. If the Infernal Blade connects, like, Venom can just lose so much HP just like that. So overall, yeah, the hero is all right, kind of making a comeback into the scene, but I can't really say why. The hero itself didn't get changed too much, and it's not one of my, I don't know, first picks. Let's call them that way. He is a bonus hero of the day, but these guys might have forgotten that you don't get mangoes.
What? Nah, just stop. Just restart this as a all pick. Don't know where to go. But I see its use somewhat diminished to an extent in this game, because Espada, they already have 2 heroes that can sustain themselves well in lane. Doom can pick up that Satyr creep. He has Scorched Earth. And Witch Doctor has that Voodoo Restoration. So the dots aren't as effective in the laning phase as you'd like.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The dots definitely aren't as effective. Let's see this pick. It's a PL, right? A hero that can stand against Chen fairly well. The thing is, he can't really trade once the Chen gets the creeps. Obviously, there are very few heroes that can, but with the help of Witch Doctor, he should be fine. and it's not one of those heroes that if the Chen gets 2 good creeps, he dies. Because he has his doppelgang, he can get out of a hairy situation with it. So he has that natural escape ability that can save him from the early aggression from Chen. And another game of Pudge.
You know what this means? This means bloodbath. This means like 30 kills pre 20 minutes easily.
I mean, we called it, man. Like we said in the last series, that Pudge is making a comeback, and this hero on position 4 right now is ridiculous. So most likely we're gonna see. Well, I don't know, Pablo. I've seen him play his share of Chen, so I'm not gonna say where this Pudge goes or what position he's gonna fill. But the hero is strong nonetheless. We saw him in the last series, just how much he did. So it's gonna be interesting. He did lose the last series, right? They lost to. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that was the one where that was the 4 versus 5. Yeah, that was the one where they lost.
Not looking great for Pudge right now, man.
I mean, in fairness, in that game, Slayer done a hell of a lot on that Pudge.
Yeah, he definitely did. He did so much. Like a true position 4 player. If you Wind Ranger, and there was a Wind Ranger versus him in that game as well. And if she gets hooked, if she gets dismembered, she's just as good as dead. So I like that pick. It's a good lane together with Doom. Like they can completely dominate their safe lane if they roll the Doom plus Wind Ranger dual off lane. And it's honestly decent. Like what I dislike about it is her squishiness versus the dots of Veno, but you have to get in position with Veno to actually for the Wind Ranger to even be affected by those dots, and it's not so easy if she has Wind Run. But if the Pudge manages to gap close, it's nice. Overall, what does the final tribe need? They need a proper carry here. They already have this Veno, Pudge, and there we go.
Oh, bad choice.
This was actually banned last time by Espada.
I believe, so like Final Tribe, this is one of the more renowned heroes. They have ran this over the years quite a lot.
I mean, Era, right? It's Era Lone Druid.
Yeah.
I believe it is. Yeah, such old school player, and Lone Druid is one of his better heroes, and that's why they banned it the last time. It's a good hero in this game as well. I wonder if it's gonna be Exotic Deer. Yesterday he played the range build. I wonder if it's gonna be the range build again or not. As Radiance is definitely valuable versus the PL, but the bear build, it's kind of scarier. But if you go for the bear build and you have the Chen and you have the Venomancer, that's a ton of push coming your way very early on. So yeah, you can see Espada already thinking about it and denying them the opportunity to pick the Dragonite, as he would completely make a full circle off of this draft, as he's the guy that would provide them with another way of initiating and a way that's actually very reliable. And he is just naturally very tanky and pushes fairly well. So it's a good deny. It's a good ban, definitely.
Yeah, that's fair, because that also makes it easy to go that Radiance build, because Dragonite is still doing a lot of push early on. And like you said, Radiant's not only good against the PL, but the Wind Ranger as well. Like, you get so much value out of it this game. And
what can
I was gonna say, the other thing is like the way that they fight on the side of Final Tribe. Radiance can drag a fight out longer, and they've got a Venomancer, so that's exactly the way they want to play these battles.
Yeah, they definitely want to play the long con. The long team fights definitely benefit them. What do they need for the last pick? They need a Charlie hero. What's a Charlie hero? They can't go greedy. If they go greedy, I mean, these 3 heroes, they can really create a lot of space very early on with nothing at all. So Pudge, Veno, and Chen do allow them to go for 2 greedy cores, but I don't know if they want to do that. So most likely Charlie isn't gonna, but it's Charlie, so it's kind of hard.
You need something that comes online quick, basically.
Yeah, maybe Alina would have been decent here. She's decent if they roll the Wind Ranger mid as well. But you don't have the last pick. So when you don't have the last pick, you usually pick your Vipers, your Razors. Well, both of those heroes aren't really in the meta right now. But you pick a hero that's hard to counter. What can they give Charlie? I guess it's Charlie on the mid and or maybe Lone Druid mid and Charlie safe lane again. So there is that option as well. They can send a Lone Druid mid. He's not very easy to counter.
Definitely have the flexibility. It's more a case of where they're going to go here. Like, Visage would be nice for their draft, but at the same time, you're up against a Witch Doctor. Tinker.
Tinker, actually.
Okay.
All right,
that's
so
kind of fair.
Yeah, a hero that's, let's say, greedy, but at the same time, he can lane fairly well versus most matchups, and he can buy himself some time. Once he gets those travels, if he hasn't been completely shut down, he can actually give his whole team more time by just using March of Machines, defending with them, and split pushing. So overall, yeah, I can get behind that. I like it. What can these guys go? They can go for Zeus. They can go for Storm. These heroes like Storm, they have absolutely no catch versus him right now. Absolutely nothing. It's possibly a perfect game for him.
True, and it's not like Tinker's. But... I think like Tinker this game especially is going to go for something like an Ags over the rushed Hex we sometimes see. That might force his hand if you pick up a Storm.
Yeah, but it's so greedy. Again, you have a PL and the Storm at the same time. They just have these... They opened up with these cores that are very greedy. So, I mean, as PL, you can sacrifice. You can go for the Hood. You can join these early fights as well. Or a Vanguard we've seen as well. It's not really something that you want to do in every game, but it's possible. And the Hood is really good versus Vano here too. So, let's see. It's Zeus. So it's Zeus. It's not Storm, it's Zeus. Two heroes that actually are good mid versus Tinker, and at the same time they scale very well versus Tinker. I mean, later on in the game they're truly good. Nyx, it's Charlie Lone Druid, all right. So Zeus actually what he does is with his Nimbus, he's able to just keep Tinker in spot, and he forces Tinker to buy that Force Staff. So overall, I like the way they reacted to the Final Tribes Tinker pick, but this game, it's Pudge game, man. It's Pablo Pudge. We're gonna have some fun.
It's definitely gonna be interesting to watch. I think Espada, like that Zeus pick is decent. They've got ways of setting him up for kills remotely, and the out lanes, Wind Ranger especially. I think there's going to be a lot of focus around whether Wind Ranger can find these early gank rotations.
Yeah, but they're also tanky. So it's not very easy for her to do that. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. We have a Pudge, man. Of course it's gonna... Big Animal is his nickname as well, by the way. So it's definitely gonna be a fun game to watch. How are they gonna lane though? Charlie is running towards bottom already. So they wanna dodge the Doom Wind Ranger lane with Lone Druid. But the problem with Lone Druid going offlane, it's offlane or the long lane, and going the long lane with Lone Druid is kind of dangerous because you're usually a bit further down the road, right? So there are ways of wrapping behind you. If you're on safe lane, it's a bit easier as you are sitting next to your tier 1, and as long as there's someone pulling your smoke creeps, the smoke camp, you should be fine. The lane equilibrium should always be in your favor. But instead of doing that, they decide to go aggressively. This is great. This can work, but at the same time, it can backfire horribly if the Lone Druid is caught out of position a few times, and like he can even die to this duel of Witch and PL. So they have to be a bit careful there. But overall, like I like what they are doing. They actually sent the bear on top, and the Vano is hiding, so they don't wanna give away how they're laning.
This is pretty smart, yeah. And like the Pudge is the only one to show so far. But
is he gonna hook the rune though? There's that possibility here, yeah.
Imagine he's gonna level it first. Does he go for it? No, he decides against it. But
he didn't.
They got 2 runes apiece.
Most likely he's getting. Yeah, the bear stole it, but most likely he's getting that hook. It's the thing you go for in the current meta. You definitely go for the hook.
Yeah, it used to be Torn in the choice, but now it's almost, I'd say, like 90% at least. You take hook.
I mean, maybe you can justify the rot with the Gale. It's so much slow that you can take someone down, but yeah, I don't see it happening. It should be hook, at least in my opinion.
I think you're right, especially when you're playing in the safe lane, because the potential to hook people under tower is something potentially, I'd say, a lot easier to do than the offlane.
Yeah, if he hooks and there's level 2 Vano with a Gale, like it could even be a kill under the tower, definitely. On the other lane, Lone Druid seems to be doing fine. The equilibrium of the lane is kinda back in his favor, so he should be able to lane well.
We're back to this experience, the constant dewarding of the camp.
Yeah, you have to play around that. You have to play around that camp. As the thing about Chen is, he pressures this lane, but as soon as he gets level 2, he wants to take a creep. And if there's no Setar, the bird, the Harpy Storm, the one that casts Chain Lightning, if she's not on the small camp and you blocked the hard camp, there are no good creeps for him there. So he has to run either deeper into the jungle or back to his shrine to get the creep.
I think the interesting lane in this game is actually the mid one, because both these heroes not exactly great at denying creeps, and that's kind of evens up.
They're basically happy at farming, both of them. I would argue that Zeus kind of provides you with an ability to get this Tinker later on. That's where he excels. But it's very unlikely that either one of these heroes is gonna die. Maybe Pudge rotates or Chen rotates mid. In that, maybe then. But if that does not happen, like, solo kills are very unlikely.
It's kind of interesting as well, because these two are the ones that open up the mid game for their teams. The Tinker with the control of the waves, and Zeus with that global presence in ganks.
Yeah, the global presence and just scouting the Tinker, and especially when he gets his Nimbus, if he opts to rush it, which most likely will not happen. We don't see the Nimbus rushes anymore, so often at least. It's usually your Yules and Atrulances and Veils first and done. But once he gets that Nimbus, it makes the life of Tinker so much harder. And the team fights.
Nix? Oh, Nix! He's dead?
There.
First blood drawn. Right. There's a little bit of a mishap there. He needed to step back for the vault sooner. But
yeah, I guess he wanted to just demand, like, he just wanted to make me wrong, right? Like,
yeah, he's like, I can die, look.
You know what's the problem? Pudge is here. He might just hook him.
He does straight away, the hook, and then bring him in. Thunderbolt out, but Zeus has to run. He's not running quick enough. He's going to actually die off here. And Arrow will be absolutely fine. The TP rotation from motion so late because, of course, that was the long TP as Zeus had already come to lane.
This is, I think, one of the worst things that can happen to you as mid, because he, you know, and the tip as well feels bad, man. So now he has to run down mid. So he died. You died once. It's not a big deal. You just port back. But the second time you die, you don't have boots. You've been killed 2 times in a row, and you miss a full creep wave because you have to run back. So it's really tough for him. This lane has already kind of, yeah, it's swinging in the way of the Tinker, definitely.
I would think so. Like 2 kills now under his belt, essentially. And it's more of the case that as this game goes on, if the Tinker has a great start like this, your Phantom Lancer finds it hard to farm, and he's your late game. You want him to start coming online around the 15-20 minute mark easily. With
yeah, you usually in a game you want Phantom to be free farming, getting that diffusal, and then join. It's optimal scenario for the PL. However, in this game, we might see him rush a Hood, or something like that, as he's playing versus a lot of magic damage between the Veno and the Tinker. But we'll see what he decides for. It's not set in stone. Misha is mid. He might try to go for this, but it's very unlikely. Like, it's super hard for him to get close to this Tinker. He needs to wrap around.
The lane is pushing in. Yeah, he's not going to be able to get to him from this side. And you get error low, but he just harasses back every time like this.
He's gonna ping out the ward now as well. Once Tinker used those rockets and they connected onto Witch Doctor as well, he instantly understands that there was a high ground ward there, and he just goes back.
The bot lane, PL actually farming pretty well. He's keeping up with the Lone Druid, which is more than you can ask for right now, considering how long Witch Doctor's out of lane. Speaking of Witch Doctor, mid lane, Maledict in the cast, bouncer fairly. Error's gonna die here. Trying to stay alive. No, he might. It's going to be close. He'll TP out. He'll be fine.
He's fine. Level 1 Maledict right? Oh, it's level 2 and it still didn't do enough.
Yeah, he just healed up quite a lot of damage with the stick.
Yeah, very unfortunate for them. The sticks, though, something that you always have to take into account.
Shackle shot on the Pablo here, which means BCC moves across in time. He's got the Infernal Blade. They should be able to run him down, power shot through to ensure that he doesn't deny himself.
And the shockwave as well. Like, you're not denying yourself. You're not denying yourself, bro. Like, we're not even gonna give you that chance.
Better not to risk it.
Going top, stealing their shrine.
Meanwhile,
they won't be too happy.
Has gone bot lane here. They're actually gonna die for this. LTW forced to use a doppelganger pretty early. The Maledict down. Charlie needs to be careful. Misha might try and aggress onto him. There's TP rotation in from Immersion. But on the back foot, Hanska trying to TP out. The shackle shot interrupts his TP though. He will fall, and Charlie has to back up. The hook through though. Misha going to be cleaned up by Pablo here, and Pablo will just skip and hop his way to the bank.
Yeah, but overall, this is really good for Charlie so far.
The Bear's gone.
The plus 300.
Oh, yeah. LTW got it.
That extra 300 gold feels good, man.
Oh, they at least got the tower. LTW did miss the deny opportunity.
Yeah,
and
overall,
that's very early to lose it.
I really like the way the lane went for Lone Druid. He's got a lot. He's almost got his Salmo Dominator, something that we see very often on these Lone Druids, as it allows them to pressure early on. Like, the Midas fell off, but the Dominator came in and took its place, for Lone Druid at least, because, yeah, it got nerfed, the Dominator, and yeah, you're giving more gold, but it just provides you with so much more when you're a Lone Druid that you don't even care. You're ready to accept those consequences.
It opens up kill potential, which...
Yeah, kill potential, pushing, just a lot of stuff, and the region as well, and it's very nice.
Like, that's kind of the problem, especially is, like, usually you have to rely on a lucky route. At least you can actually hold someone. And Pablo, nice hook, but guess what? They drag him across. The Maledict don't even take too much time to cast as well. He looks like Pablo's going to fall. In fact, Nyx gets the final hit with the Thunder God's Wrath.
Nyx with the casual Zeus kill secure right there, guys. Just kill secure.
He was doing it to scout everyone's location. He's like, wait, where's Hanscom right now? He's in the jungle finding more creeps.
He was definitely doing that just to scout. It's for the team, man. Scouting for the team.
Be better if he just typed oops. Oops, guys.
So selfless, this guy, man. So selfless.
Like most of these players, right?
But overall, it's definitely worth it for him. I mean, maybe you let the PL take it, but I think they're happy with that.
They going to LTW again? They could. Pablo.
It's very hard. It's... Nah, this isn't happening. Even if the hook connects, in all honesty...
He can doppelganger away, that's true.
Yeah, in between the two of them, maybe if they get like 2 roots in a row or something like that. If they don't, it's just such a hard kill.
I think they're actually just sticking 2 here to try and force a response, and Immersion's on the way down. As a result,
what might happen is Doom might die on top.
Yep, smoke.
Chen is smoked up, and he's going to wrap behind the tower.
Oh, Gale coming out. BZZ, it's only 1 level on Scorched Earth. He's going to have to use it the face as well, but he's dead on the spot. The Stomp follow-up, taking a lot of damage here. It's going to be close, actually. LTW arrives in time, and now Hanska needs to run away. He's going to charge forward, looking for this kill. Can they do enough damage to the question? The Stomp's still on cooldown for 10 seconds. Oh, Shackle Shot nicely connecting. Hanska found a little bit of trouble. The Shockwave through. They'll clean him up. They make the rotation worthwhile. But, in fairness, you do get a come to Veno. But I feel like Veno, to some extent, he plays a similar role to Brood. You get what I mean? Where you want to force loads of people's attention. And by doing so, no one's doing anything about Charlie.
I mean, yeah. But at the same time, like, when you're a Veno, you want to force attention on yourself. But you're really strong. Like, your laning presence should be noted. Like, you should be doing... Like, I don't know, like, you shouldn't be dying. That's the thing. Like, especially if you go on an aggressive move and you die to their carry, it's not great for you. That's definitely not what you want to have going. And you had the Chen involved. I think what they need to do is either go as 3 or 4 or get someone that does a lot of damage. And on their team, to be honest, they don't have that person. There's the Tinker, but he's not ready yet.
Speaking of that Tinker, they're smoked up. They're looking for someone right now, and they might find error at this rate. Need to hurry up, though. They put down the ward. Should have got a glimpse of those final marches, but can't get close enough.
Yeah, he's not going to walk back up there, but he might go mid. And if they wrap around, they might just get him.
Well, this means Zeus can assist as well, so Era might be in a lot of trouble here. Moves forward, and uh-oh, Doom comes out. The Shackle Shot won't connect on anything to cast through. The Thunder God's Wrath means he's going to fall. The Power Shot. Motion gets the final hit. And I was actually going to say, they've been looking for that kill. And you can tell, just look at the wards around the river by the side of Espada.
Yeah, they've been looking for that. They've been looking for that Tinker, definitely. Trying to take him down and slow his boots of travel. And they've done exactly that there. Even the Zoo sporting top didn't matter as 3 of them just took over the mid, doomed him, and just got rid of him. So very well played by Espada so far. They thwarted the aggression from the Chen on top, and at the same time they killed the Tinker. Good rotations.
And it's really starting to pay off because Espada, we were worried about that mid lane, but Zeus is actually easily caught up now with Era. Like, they're about even on net worth.
Yeah, they're even, and like the problem is it's gonna stay this way until Era gets his travel. Once he gets the travels, and the thing changes. This little goat in a robot suit, he starts porting on one lane, then on the other. And...
Gonna be closer than like the Maledict. Can he survive just about? No, he falls. Okay, they do
Plus
get the bet.
300. Easy gold for Witch Doctor. Suddenly going from Windlace to Tranquils.
You know? And then, a little bit left over for wards as well. Pretty nice.
Top lane though, Pablo, he's in position to hook. And he's gonna see immersion. Is he gonna hook? Nope.
He can't afford to because RTW is so close that if you hook him on a tower, there's an instant response.
Yeah, maybe they could have bursted her down and then sent the patch back at the same time, but very unlikely. They just don't have damage. You know, the problem with this draft of TFT, they have no damage. They need this Radiance on the Bear, and they need Tinker to join these fights, because these heroes, yeah, you have the Venomancer, but he hasn't really had the best game. Like, he's on recovery right now, and he's level 8. Like, he doesn't even have his ulti skilled yet. He went max wards to make that comeback. And it's looking grim for TFT just because of that.
I'm a little bit disappointed, actually. Like, I was expecting disconnect on that pause, and we were going to get a repeat of the first series, where, 4v5 victory.
Right,
oh, no emotion. Pablo finds him, dismembers him up. He's got the hook available as well. The penitence will buff up the damn shackle shot, though. It's good. But is it good enough to get you out? I'm afraid not. Pablo just chases across the hook through. They'll clean him up.
Pablo is like, Tinker is porting in, but I'm not giving you the skill. Like, I'm taking this, boy.
Pug just need their gold. He's going for that urn. In fact, he's got enough for it now. And the Spirit Vessel this game is really effective against the Doom, especially. No running around with the Scorched Earth, staying alive.
Yeah, overall, Spirit Vessel on Pudge is one of the best items. It beefs you up a little bit more, and at the same time, you can shut down some of these targets, and it gives you a solo kill potential as well, as you can take down some targets alone as soon as you get that extra damage coming from the ticks of the vessel. So, yeah, definitely a good item to get. Still, though, the problem for this team is their laning stage did not go so well. Like, the best hero in their team was Tinker. Like, he had the best laning stage, but he's not a hero that's gonna do a lot right now. Speaking of Tinker, he's just farming bottom. He's just spamming March.
I was gonna say the other big issue for TFT right now is that Lone Druid going for that Radiance build means what you were already saying about Venomancer essentially feeling like he's in recovery. It means that Tinker has to create so much space in the next 10 minutes for your team.
And did you see that mid? BZZ just using Devour to take his Dominator creep. So it's always the danger when you're building Helm of Dominator on Lone Druid is the fact that if you're playing versus a Doom or versus an Enchantress or a hero like that. Top lane,
Pablo. Cast gets thrown out, Maledict as well, power shot through, and the Thunder God's Wrath to scout out everyone again. That's definitely what he's doing with it.
Definitely just the scouting ability.
He's got to keep up with that Tinker, man. Come on.
He didn't mean to take that kill, guys. Like, he just did it, like, just to see where the Tinker is.
I mean, I could respect this if he was rushing an Ags, but he's not.
Yeah, he has Atrolance, he's going for that Veil. I mean, it's interesting though, because his team is not lacking
Nisha?
damage.
This is bold. Shackle shot through to buy some time. We got to move away with the Voodoo Restoration. Tinker TP'ing in now. Era wants to fight the Hand of God to keep the creeps alive, but they did still lose one of them. They're so greedy on the side of Espada. They want these creeps so damn badly. Meanwhile, mid.
I mean, Is he gonna get hooked? He's so tanky though, and he already used Scorched Earth.
Oh, it's a TP from Zeus. They don't know about it either. The hook will make it obvious where he is now. Nick's moving forward. It's down the lightning bolt. Meanwhile, on the other side, Misha just dies behind them. And the Courier, they'll be protected though. They notice the problem before it gets worse. But the problem is you're now outnumbered, and TFT want to push your mid tower. They want this.
Yeah, I love the Setter Lance. I mean, it's usually what you get on Zeus, but this game, it's gonna help them push. But it's gonna help them defend pushing, defend from pushes though. If Chen gets a few catapults and if Lone Druid gets a few catapults, it's I believe the best thing that can happen to them right now, as it's gonna allow them to take these towers without worrying, because Zeus cannot really do much against them. So those creeps would be so good for them. Right now, there is one with Charlie. He decided to dominate a siege creep. Not something that we usually see, but still it's really good. You take it and you can take down towers even alone.
They at least won't get the tier 1 top, as Misha does hit that up and deny it out. But it's like, it feels like both teams are kind of stalling. But right now, which team gets the big advantage out? It feels like Espada is going to come online quicker with that diffusal pickup.
Yeah, but there's going to be a blink on Tinker, and your Venomancer is getting levels. Gonna be level 12, and he has that level 1 ult now, right? Not level 2, level 1 ult.
I'm hoping for a 2 before he casts it. We've seen how it just feels like Poison over level 1 doesn't really get you that much value. It takes too long to see the effects.
Yeah, the level 1 Gale versus level 2 Gale has always boggled me. I mean, not always, but in these last few days I've seen a lot of people go for level 2 Gale, when before it was always just 1 level into the Gale and 2 levels into Nova. Level 1 Gale doesn't do a lot, but it slows down the same way the level 2 Gale does, so that's the thing. Era, though, top lane.
They see him, Era, trying to blink out. Will he make it? BZZ? Oh no, he doesn't get the Infernal Blade off. He walks past him. But they'll be able to take the tower. Tinker TPing in. Decides to cancel it. That's probably a good choice, because it was 4 heroes waiting.
That's just BM right there. That's just trolling them.
It's like, you need me to come back again? Do you want me to come back? Do you want me to do a TP slower this time?
Exactly. Just trolling them a little bit. But overall, like, great escape by Tinker. Maybe a bit of slow reaction by BCC. He has that Shadow Blade now, and they can be looking to fight bot. However,
the hook! Pablo perfectly done. He catches Nyx, which is the one they want to catch here. The Doom Throw now under Pablo. They'll clean up Nyx still, and Pablo being sent back to base. It's going to be a close call with the Rot on. I don't think he's going to make it, though. And it got to keep him alive. He'll get there, but meanwhile, Immersion does fall to Johansson fan. And they will be able to get this tier 2 now. And actually, they could threaten high ground.
They definitely can. They have so many creeps here. And the PL is not really ready to fight. Well, he has his hood and defusal. If he pours back, he can definitely stop this push. They don't have the ulti from Veno or... this shouldn't be a long push. Let's see.
Well, they're going to harass the bear. The Malady means it should be close to dying with Infernal Blade. That bear is long gone. It's just a matter who gets the gold. And it's Witch Doctor again. Boy's getting rich. Oh, some of the second one.
They have to fall back, but they have to fall back like this. It's good. Like, Tinker just casted the March of Machines to cover their retreat, and that's it. Overall, they took the tier 2. They kind of damaged the tier 3. They're fine with that. They lost the bear. The Witch Doctor is getting richer, but it's not. They don't really mind that. Pudge is in position for another hook. Yeah, he just decides not to.
He decides it's probably not a good idea. His team is a little bit more split up this time.
And he's just alone there. There's a Chen with creeps, but they can't really burst down a target. There's a smoke coming, though. Witch Doctor, he runs into a very fast Charlie, though.
Isha gonna start with the bear. Malady down. Looking to kill it off here. Ulti W and Charlotte will die.
Has no respawn.
Now the hook through. Actually, this is caught again. No. Moving away just in time, though. Pablo's track shot on the spot. He's just gonna get blown up. The bear dies, and so does Pablo. And Hanskin is about to hit the deck too. He even stops and just accepts his fate as he just says, retreat. Take my creeps with you.
Yeah, maybe he was just microing creeps there. I doubt that he would stop on purpose. At the same time, Doom
he's going to lose them. They're all going to die. And Doom,
next to Veno.
BZZ. He says, hey guys, you want to go? They decide against this. Next to a shrine after all. It's a little bit overly brazen.
Yeah, that definitely hurt the Lone Druid the most, as he has no bear for 40 more seconds. And this tier 1 on mid is just as good as gone. There's no way they defend it. Tinker though, slow and steadily getting that Atalance. Kind of interesting that he didn't go for the force staff. Usually something that you see.
He's pushing Nyx again. The shackle shot hits though, and Pablo, he's just gonna go bye-bye. Like, I'm not gonna lie. He knows where, it's like he knows where Nyx is all the time. It's just in this circumstance, he maybe didn't want to fight him.
He's hooking that Zeus, but the last 2 times he just died.
Hanskin just got obliterated by LTW. This PL, this is kind of the ridiculousness of this hero. As soon as he picks up a defusal, just look how quickly he's gone from casually farming to murdering everybody.
Yeah, the greatest problem that they've got in this draft right now is that you see where the Venom is farming right now. And Lone Druid is coming at the same spot to farm, but he can't. So he's shooed away from that spot. There are no lanes to farm because Tinker is pushing out everything, and there are no creep camps to farm because Veno is farming everything. And you don't have that Radiance for 21 minutes into the game. You're close, but you're not there yet, and it's hurting them a lot. Like, they need this Radiance as soon as possible.
We said about this at the start. We were worried that they were going to pick another greedy hero, one that needs this kind of space. And it was worrying when you saw that Veno needed this recovering. Great, he's getting his goal, he's getting his levels, but it's at the sacrifice of Charlie, and Charlie's the one who's going to push your towers for you.
Yeah, maybe he dies mid again now. The cast is out.
Bounces across, and no, Pablo's next as well. The shackle shot through. Pablo's free to go, but Charlie might not be so. The Dismember coming out just to try and stop, but it's actually a PL illusion. And I'll going to chase through. Pablo will fall no matter what. The Hand of God will not protect him. But the bear chases the rest of them away. BZ's trying to move through. Needs to be careful. Yeah, Handsome Fan. He's got the level 2 Poison Nova. Might look to use it on the back, but the LTW just jumps in with Charlie. No matter let the burst through. And the Poison Nova doesn't even clip onto him, so LTW can just walk away.
I believe they could have been a lot more aggressive, and they would have been if they had better information. If they had maybe a ward on the shrine to see where everyone is, they would have been more aggressive and they would have killed that Lone Druid. Luckily for the Lone Druid, they didn't, so he escapes with his life, and he's getting closer to that relic right now at least. He's not there yet. 100 gold more and he's gonna have the relic, and after that it's gonna be a bit easier to farm and it's gonna be easier to get that Radiance. But he still is struggling to find places to farm, and his team, like, that's the biggest issue with their draft. They just the Tinker just out pushes, so you never have a lane to properly farm, and Veno was recovering too, so yeah, very greedy course.
It's definitely looking a little bit worrisome because this is a time where your cores need to start coming online.
It's caught, but there's force on him
Nyx. He should be able to get out of this, actually. Even the taunts to make sure.
They just went... like,
they invested so much in this, really, because, once again...
They might even turn on Charlie here.
The bear might die, actually. It's easy to charge him forward. And get a centaur as well. It's great. It's just having gold delivered to you. Meanwhile, Hanskin, he just dies. LTW runs him down. The Father God's Wrath finishes him off. And your creep army, he only just got all these again. Budge in the top. Pablo's low. The focus fire is going to bring him down. He can't rot. He can't. He's got the hood on him. They're forward through.
Oh, feels bad, man.
He brought that to help him.
Bottom lane Doom and Nyx.
Oh, they go in. Nyx trying to kite around the side. Charlie's going to get low. He will go pop, and Nyx will as well, as he's poisoned up. He can't survive. They'll look for more, but it looks like BZC will make it out thanks to that blink.
I think they're happy with that. Yeah, they lost their Zeus, but PL is completely farming like uncontested, and at the same time they are slowing down that Radiance even harder. So this is definitely great for Espada. They're in complete control at the moment, and it's gonna be arguably it's gonna get a little bit harder once the team gets the items.
Oh, hold on, you cut out a little bit there. Your robot voice.
Drop that for a bit.
What's that, guys? Restart the call. Liz, you there? You good? I think his house has been struck by a meteor, guys. Okay, he should join in a second. We'll be good to go. Liz, you good?
I hope so.
You are. That's fabulous.
Am I still a robot?
No, you're no longer a robot.
No longer a roboto. All right, Mr. Dustin.
Hanskin? Oh, not again. Not like this. The stomp. Hanskin's not going to escape. Every damn time. He just got his creep army again. And this time, they're all going to die.
Small little mud golems, mudkips, rip.
This is heartbreaking.
I mean, it's a hard game for the Chen from the start until the end. It's definitely not easy for him. But I mean, it's what happens when you first pick Chen. It's basically the hero is strong, but there are ways of dealing with him, and they definitely drafted very well. Drafting these Witch Doctors and Dooms is definitely a way of dealing with Chen.
Easy, he's on the prowl. He's actually just been given free access to walk straight over to Charlie. He's waiting for him to come down. He's going to come farm. Nope, blinks away. 4-star forward. Jansen fan trying to get involved. Gale doesn't clip on the BZZ. He'll be able to move away. Jump ball by Tinker, but without being slowed down, they can't really get onto him. Oh, Hook missing on Amisha. Zeus just continues to push bot though. Nyx is not even involved in this right now. I think it's still easily take a fight. BZZ needs to be a little bit careful here. They're all lingering around still, but LTW means they have a lot of push power into this lineup.
Yeah, they're pinging the Pudge out. They're probably gonna go for the Pudge. Oh,
they're surrounding them. Jonas Van, no chance Poison Nova comes out the Doom, but the hook through from Pablo is good. He's slowed down though, that's the problem. And Charlie on the back foot, the cask won't bounce to him, but they have to leave your Handsome fan behind. Pablo will just TP out right next to him, says his farewells. I'll see you on the other side.
Well, in the best case scenario, Veno and Lone Druid live and Pudge dies, but overall this is kind of fine for them as well. As
that could have been 10 times more worse though. Like they encircled them perfectly.
If Charlie died, that would have been
no, Hanskin, not again. The hook through, catching on the BZZ. But there's a shackle shot in return. The death ward as well. Pablo's going to fall here, and it will not be denied. The hand of God too late, and Hanskin, it may be too late to save him, or is it? The power shot through. It's going to be close. Oh, there we go. Nyx gets him with a lightning bolt. And now, are they looking for Charlie as well? They scrolled him out a little bit earlier, but they can't get across in time.
These heroes of theirs, they do so much more even without items though. You check the Zeus out, like yeah, he has his Etrulance and Whale. It helps him out definitely, but he has spells that deal damage. On the other hand, you have the Spudge, you have the Veno, you have the Lone Druid. They need time, like they need so much time, and
it's
the way
kind
this game has went, yeah, it might be a bit too much time because LTW, like he has his Reaver. And he's gonna have a heart very soon. How do you deal with him? How do you kill him?
That's kind of the interesting thing. Is like last game, it felt like LTW, they had a lineup that came online quicker and they couldn't activate it. And instead, Espada, it's kind of like they're just teaching them. Like, yeah, we've got these heroes. They don't need as much gold as you, especially the way you've chosen to focus your builds. So we're gonna come at you. We're gonna keep running straight head on into you.
Yeah, and one big thing, one big difference that's about to happen is Aghanim on Tinker. So once this is completed, which should be any second now, he has it, they can kind of maybe take these fights. So if they just position themselves well, if they maybe throw this Jonathan fan to the wolves, if he goes first so that they go on him, they maybe save him with a hook, or he even dies but he uses his ulti. That's a perfect initiation for TFT. And you can see how he's playing. Like, he's the only one not smoked. He's the only one in front. They're doing exactly that.
Look at Pablo, the hook across. They find Nyx. Dismembered up. He's just going to disappear. The shackle shot, though. Force stuff down the low ground. Turns around with Nimbus. He might be able to get the kill on Pablo, but he will at least die for this. And in fact, they even use the Hood of Defiance to ensure he doesn't have to die for it. They do at least lose one of the creeps.
Pablo and the Storm, man. There's some love story here. Like, he keeps on hooking him time after time after time.
I mean, originally they were actually eyeing up Immersion, but as soon as they saw Nyx was there as well, it's like, rub your hands together, capitalize on that kill. Oh, yeah. Tier 2s.
They go for the tier 2. There is Aghanim on Tinker, and there's Radiance on Lone Druid.
But look at this, Doom's coming in.
This is their power spike.
Oh, need to use it well. Fear coming out. Shackle shot's good though. Your hands are fan. Maledicted up. He needs to be a little bit careful. They jump in the Doom thrown on him. No chance he gets the poison Nova. Trying to run through the death ward. He's tanky, not tanky enough though. He should tick out in the end. BZZ will fall in return as he's dismembered up by Pablo. And they will look to still take this tier 2. LTW wants to fight. He's got the heart available. But actually, they don't even lose Vene. He gets sent back to base and he'll be absolutely fine.
Now, the problem is he wants to fight, but he can't. The Radiance from the Bear and the Aghanim from Tinker is completely, as we said earlier, it's a power spike for Dire, and it's a huge power spike. It's going to be very hard for this PL to join these fights right now. He has to kind of maneuver around, or he has to get a Shadow Blade to get the Tinker out of his way instantly. They need to get rid of Tinker, and after that he can fight. But as long as the Tinker is alive and spamming his laser, it's not going to look good.
Immersion going pretty deep here. We'll force stuff away. They're going to chase through anyway. LTW still can't fight because that missed chance that you're talking about. The Nimbus gets thrown down. I'll have to back up a little bit. LTW charges in, sees Hanskin, wants to jump on him and kill him off. He'll be able to get in the fun goes Wrath revealing where everyone is. And Misha on the back foot won't be able to find the kills. They TP out in time. Pablo in a little bit of trouble. The poison never comes out, but Charlie, he will get out as well. Johansson found the last one left in. LTW should be able to run him down in the meantime. So they get their other 2 cores out. Johansson fan won't be so lucky. And the Poison Nova not really achieving much more than the initial bout they had.
Yeah, overall a pretty favorable fight for them, as Tinker was too busy in the back. The Witch Doctor almost killed him, so he couldn't really fight there. And if you keep the Tinker busy, like the PL can do a lot. And he's actually going for Rosh right now. Not really the best hero to take Rosh. He needs some help, and this Doom is coming over, but they don't really have a lot of damage. This is gonna take some time. The Zeus is gonna make it easier, but
it actually speeds up pretty well, and they've actually found the bear as well. Additional gold, yes please. Focus fire means that this little bear is not going home in one piece.
Fudge is gonna come, but it's hard for him to hook against the illusion.
He gets an illusion. Guess you can be happy about that. You know that, Roshan. Well done, buddy. Now you have to back up.
So it was a slow rush, but still, they didn't really react to it. It's not that they didn't play properly, it's just that they couldn't. The Venomancer was dead, and Tinker couldn't just risk going in.
Yeah, I was about to say about Tinker. We'll be fine. BCC won't be able to hunt him down, but that was... I don't even feel like that was needed for you to be that deep. He's trying to slow down the push from the creeps.
Yeah, that's it. He's trying to slow down the push, as he's worried that they might just go straight down mid.
But no, they want Charlie.
Most likely not. Yeah.
They should know he's around here, surely.
They could just use Zeus ult. They have it. If they use it, Charlie just might die. This is very... probably won't use it, but overall it's very difficult to be hiding yourself in trees versus a Zeus with Agnes, because even if you try to port out, you can use Nimbus to break it. It's kind of ridiculous that there's a global ability that breaks your port.
It's definitely an Aghanim with a lot of controversy behind it. Lots of people having this kind of opinion.
Global stunning ability with 35 seconds, like the cooldown. It's really strong. It's just one of those ridiculously strong items right now. The Aghanim on Zeus.
Especially seeing as like a lot of games are decided in this, we got the pick off first type scenarios, right? Like, yes, you can get those big team fights, like a double Ravage is huge, but it's much easier to find those pickoffs, and those can usually be the decider.
Hanskin?
Yeah, Hanskin's in trouble.
One more time.
That's a DD, and every time it's just this Phantom Lancer, and no surprise, he's now godlike.
Out of 9 kills, I think ELTW, like, he got 8 on this poor Chen. How many times did Chen die? Wait,
I don't think he even wants to check the stats at the end of this.
Chen has 8 deaths, so it could be true. It could be true. Not necessarily true, but it could be.
It's definitely something that Chen doesn't want to think about. It's got to be demoralizing as hell. At least this time, though, his creep army didn't get caught. He didn't really have much of a creep army anyway, but at least one of them survived.
Yeah, I mean, he has a hood on Chen. I guess he's buying that pipe. They do have the pipe already. Double pipe.
The pings? They know about the smoke. I think there's more heroes involved. There's at least 2. I think they just want to go on Charlie here. But look at this. LTW's in the base. Things come out. Nimbus down. Error slowed by the diffusal as well. He dies here. This could be tragic for them. He's going to try and re-arm the hand and go try and keep him alive. It's not good enough, and he does have buyback. He'll be forced to use it. Hands getting shredded through. Can he only just respawn? They'll dismember the right one. LTW taking a lot of damage, but be able to move away quickly. The heart plus the Aegis means he is fearless. And while that's happening, they just run down and kill Charlie in the bot lane. LTW does not have any reason to leave this base now.
Well, it's still hard versus Tinker.
It's true.
As soon as the Nimbus is off cooldown, they can kill him again. As long as they...
Gale coming out. He has the fan here. Got hit by the cast, trying to move him for a poison over. The Martin goes out, and Misha with a death ward out as well, trying to do some damage, but Johansson fan just doesn't really feel it. They do actually deny Misha, so Merchant's celebrating about that. They might be able to hold this. They need to buy time for the Lone Druid to get back, though.
They can go back in, though. Like, if they decide to. Heart kicked in, and PL is just full HP right now. And there's no poison... There's no poison over on the side of TFT.
The problem is Era's just got way too much mana to work with, so you can't even look for that gap, that window.
That could have been averted, though. The reason he died basically is his itemization. Not buying 4 staff versus Zeus is a little bit... I mean,
It's one of the easiest heroes to do on as well. Yeah. We've seen plenty of times where a Tinker picks up a 4-staff, and he doesn't just save himself, he saves his teammates as well.
Yeah, it's basically the best utility item that you can get versus Zeus 100%. You get that 4-staff, he uses Nimbus on you, you just force yourself out of it. End of the story. Very easy fix. But yeah, he decided not to go for it, and I mean he's been doing well. He's had a good game up to this point when he had to use his buyback. Bear, mid.
Bear's taking a lot of damage, but they can't do much more. The cast coming out. The Nimbus actually found error again, and the Maledict as well as the hits from the stun. Looks like he's in a little trouble. BZZ gets hooked through. The BKB activated, but he will be dismembered up. While on the other side, error falls. And that is crucial here. He has no buyback. BZZ will fall in return. But LTW arrive, and the fear to scare him away. But Pablo has to hide in the tree line. He hasn't got a TB out. He has at least got a blink. And the Death Ward in the back, but just trying to find a kill. They will find it in the hands. Gonna Misha. He doesn't even have to die for this. He'll stay alive. The shackle shot to make sure there's no bear clap. They're chasing for more. LTW.
Either. Like, no mana for it.
LTW is going on your hands, fan. Like you said, no mana. And now Poison Nova is not going to be able to be used. Pablo in a little bit of trouble as well. He should die pretty easily. This Veno is way too tanky with all this armor. The fear away just in time. And the Nimbus does not go to the right target. But you're in your fountain, and LTW's at your tier 3 mid. The Aegis does get reclaimed, but now he has a butterfly in its place.
Now you have to deal with the butterfly too. If he hit hard before, like, no, it's gonna be.
I mean, that was kind of their advantage. He wasn't hitting that hard before, but Charlie forced to use the fear straight away. But LTW judges out. Giants fan trying to go deep, gets the poison over off in time, but he will die for this by the lightning bolt. Plus the damage from LTW too much. They have no way to deal with PL, and now the Dismember going in. Pablo will find the kill in immersion, but Misha, he's just too quick for him to catch, and still in their base. LTW refuses to stop pushing. In fact, he might go for Pablo.
He got rooted, so he couldn't finish Venomancer off, and Tinker is up in 15 seconds, so most likely what they do is they retreat.
But it sends a message to the side of Final Tribe. We're going to be back in your base in a few minutes' time. If you do not have a way of dealing with Phantom Lancer, you are out of this game. And that's the way it feels right now. Like, that fight, he just got to do whatever he wants. You kite him, great, but you can't kill him.
The thing is, you can, but if your Tinker is dying as the first target.
Speaking of Tinker, they found him again. The Nimbus down. Error, maybe a little bit of trouble. The Dismember is on the wrong target. The fear away. Will buy enough time in the route. They find him finally. LTW's got to buy a few seconds with the Doppelganger. Coming across. Misha with the cast bounce. He'll give his life for this. The Maledict down as well. The Doppelganger to safety on LTW. And Misha doesn't even have to die for it. Or does he? Pablo?
Well, ELTV is not done. He's still there.
Hand's good. They're going to charge back in, and Pablo needs to be careful. Dismember available in 5 seconds. Can he buy enough time? Nope, no mana to work with. They'll force them to the high ground, and the blind chance coming in again. The BKB on the back foot as BZZ tries to run in. He will net up Charlie, and Charlie he's separated from his team. This is a big mistake here. The Infernal Blade on him taking a lot of damage. He's going to try and send back the power shot through. The Doom thrown out the Nimbus. They'll find him. Hands can chase on who the shackle shot is good, and they'll run him down as well. Double kill for LTW. On the back foot, Tingle just trying to poke at them. But you just exposed yourself in a very bad way as Charlie, he has no buyback.
He has no buyback.
The hook, BZZ, caught by Pablo here, and they'll be able to find him in return, but LTW says, great, more people coming in. Your hands are fan with the poison nerve straight away. They'll turn around on us like, fine, you want to throw this out? You have to give your life. The Crimson Guard will buy him some time, but Immersion, he won't fall for this. Johannes fan will.
And the wind run. The Greaves and the Crimson Guard.
It's ridiculous. So much armor to begin with. It's hard before, and the missed chances. They're just trying to keep him alive. He's just charging. He's like, please, let me kill Immersion. It looks like he's actually going to get him as a result. He'll tick out to the poison sting. So he gets what he's looking for, but LTW is free to go now.
This is as good as it could have went for TFT, as they did stop that push, even though their lone druid is dead. Oh,
Pablo, he's got the Dismember. He wants LTW. LTW is so damn fast, though. The hook actually drags back Error. No! LTW will get out, and that's an unfortunate scenario. But, I mean, the bigger question here is, yes, you can kill the PL, as we saw, but when is this Tinker buying a 4-star? Because this is still the biggest issue of all.
Wait.
Nimbus, Pablo, cast bounces, and he's gone.
By the way, we didn't see how they can kill PL. It didn't happen still. It can happen.
My point was they can get him close, right? But the problem, like you said before, it's Error. Error is their solution. But he's not going for a 4-star. He's going for a sheep stick instead.
Is it Sheepstick or is it Shivas? It's Sheepstick, alright. I think Shivas would have been just as good, maybe. But overall, they need a Hex. And yeah, as long as he's alive, they can deal with the PL. He's going for that MKB now, though, so the laser isn't going to be as effective.
I feel like the big problem right now is that the only person on the team that has a 4-star is Veno. He has the Hurricane Bike. But put a pause on that. Nimbus comes out and Hanskin's gone. The net in return, but it won't matter. Hanskin cannot get out in time. But to kind of like iterate what I was saying, right now, Hanskin's the only one with a way of getting you out of that Nimbus. But yeah, he's the primary Doom target.
And the hook, they have that. So
they do have
they might be hoping. They might be hoping that the hook is gonna save it, but it's not very reliable. And when all these illusions are running around, it's very easy to miss that hook. So yeah, not having at least 2 forces in this team is it's definitely not great for them.
It also changes the style you have to play as, right? Like, because then you're essentially saying, okay, Pablo stay with Era, but then Tinker needs to push lanes for a start. And on top of that, even if you do that, you're dangling your crucial element that stops PL as bait.
Yeah, it's not really great. The situation that they are in could have been averted a long time ago if he only itemized the force, but overall it's okay.
BKB coming out, Doom moving in with the BCZ wants to target. They see Tinker, no, hit him up with Doom. Stuck inside Ned up, the force time on the low ground. The hand got cheeky being low. Can they find anything in return? The buyback coming up from Micha straight away. And it looks like BCZ being corralled by Pablo right now. They're moving across, looking for the bear. The roots are good though. Can they follow us up is the question. The shackle shot, Hanskin left behind lines, and he will be picked off. No way he gets out. But they keep the important person alive. Era survives, but Ping's coming out. They won't get Pablo. The cast does follow him. After the blink away, he'll go for the TP out. Nimbus down. Whoopsie daisy. Shackle shot to hold him in place, and he's just going to disappear.
Yeah, don't forget, you can't just port out versus a Zeus with Agnes. What a great hero, man. I love this ultimate.
This is a bigger problem. The creeps are in your base, which means LTW is as well.
The fudge buybacks.
Oh, your hands are fan. Defusal onto him. They can't chase once again. It's the blind chance that they do force that buyback on a Pudge. Can Pablo get anything for this is the question. They do root up LTW, but this is the thing. The bear runs in. He roots once, great. Then he has to run away because they hit so damn hard. Now they can just go Roche.
I just have to mention Jonas Fan and his itemization. It's been just perfect this game. Every single item that he's bought brings so much utility to his team. Yeah, they are lacking damage. That's true, and he's not really providing them with any sort of anagrims or Shivas so far at least. But overall, like, it's he's making this team still work. Like, even in the last fight, he saved a Tinker that was doomed with his Hurricane Pike, and then he didn't die because of the greens of the Princeton. So overall, it's been great, but for how long can they be on this defensive?
That's the thing. He's just buying time right now in the hopes that Charlie becomes some sort of god.
Yeah, but Charlie isn't really getting any better. He's not getting any stronger. His bear is splitting, but his bear has been sitting on Radiance for the last 25 minutes.
He's the poorest core in the game. It's looking horrific. And now with an Aegis, there's nothing to stop Espada going high ground. They smoke up. Hanzafan, they can get him first. Nimbus goes down, but it goes Raph as well. Ready on half HP. Hanzafan needs to be careful. Will be able to move away in time. He's on half HP and LTW just pushes in. The shack shot's good. Hits onto the creep, but Pablo a little bit too tanky to deal with.
Yeah, the bear is kind of split pushing bottom, but yeah, it's just slowly chewing through the creeps, and Zeus is there. He has travels in 10 seconds. So
and he might get the bear as well. Yeah, the bear's gonna die. Nimbus to make sure of it. But they don't mind. Slow cooldown. It's just insane.
This is even worse now, because if they go in and kill that bear, Charlie is completely useless. So he's not gonna have it for 100 seconds or so.
LTW. He just saw Johansson fan. He's outside the base. The defuse comes out. Shackle shot as well. They try and hook him through. The blinds is not enough. He's just gonna die off here. He tries to stay alive. The Guardian's Group's gonna be close, but not close enough. The Doom coming out on air as well. They find him. Double kill for LTW. Chasing forward for more. And no buyback means he's in a lot of trouble. Hanskin, he knows his experience too well. He's gonna die on the hand of God. Oh, LTW, they find him. The shackle shot through though. They catch Charlie and his bear. BKB from BCZ going deep with the Nimbus coming out. Hanskin trying to stay alive. It's gonna be close, but no, the funding goes Raph. Charlie's all alone, but not for long. He could join his team in the grave, and GG gets called. Espada take the series in a convincing 2-0 fashion. And what a game. I mean, this is the power of Zeus. People keep wondering why this hero's resurgence, and it's all about that Nimbus, as we saw time and time again. I think if there was one big thing we could highlight that went wrong, we kind of hit on it earlier, it was the itemization. There was no real force staff for Tinker to defend himself.
Yeah, definitely. If he had a few force staffs, like, in my opinion, he wouldn't have died to every engagement that they did on him with the Nimbus, because early on, every time they went on him, they just got him. Yeah, you can argue he has He has a Pudge, and the Pudge should be saving him. But at the same time, it's not so easy for the Pudge to always be in the right position, especially when the hero such as Tinker, he can be all over the map, and it's very hard for Pudge to follow that. And he makes one wrong step, instantly Nimbus to his face, and then PL just follows up. So, I mean, Nimbus, yeah, we're saying it's broken, and I agree with it. Like, I'm the first one to say that spell is so strong. Once you get that Aghanim's, it changes the game. But you need to prepare for it. You need to itemize for it. The same way he itemized versus the Phantom Lancer with that Aghanim's, he could have itemized versus the Zeus with the Force Staff. So, I mean, still, I have a feeling that this draft, it's not all about the Tinker being caught. Like, we can put the blame on him, but Charlie just did not have the farm on time. And I'm not blaming Charlie. It's just the way the game went for them. The Venomancer was catching back up, and the Tinker was just out pushing every lane. So as Lone Druid, it's very hard to find places to farm without being completely exposed. And because of that, he had a very late Radiance.
You highlighted it early, right? Like, it was essentially 2 cores farming the same spot. It sounds ridiculous, really, but like, I've actually seen this so often it happens when you start to feel starved on the map, and it's so horrible because Tinker's meant to give you that dominance, that control in the game, but it kind of worked against them to an extent, right? Because, like you said, there was no way you could farm. Tinker had all the lanes pushing in, and the jungle was taken over by Johannesson fan.
Yeah, and overall, the bottom line, in my perspective here, is that it's a small outdraft by Espada. It's usually very hard to say these things like full outdraft or something like that, but in all honesty, Witch Doctor and Doom completely destroying the Handskins Chan early on, making every aggressive move that he made completely useless. Then the Nyx Zeus completely like giving them that extra edge over the Tinker later on in the game, and PL just coming online much earlier than Charlie's Lone Druid, which is arguably like not necessarily the way the heroes work, but because of the way the game went. But overall, yeah, good performance by Espada and an easy 2-0 for them.
Well, that is actually it today, believe it or not, Liz. We got a little bit of an easier day. We only had 2 series and actually 2 2-0s.
Yeah, just 4 games today, man. Like, no long sessions with my killer pigeon, with my little flying rat.
Broken.
Feels bad, man.
But you know what? There is more action to come for the Summer Cup. I'm not sure who we got tomorrow. It might be, I think BCOP might be coming in for tomorrow's games to round out Phase 2. But we're back in Phase 3. Do you know that, Liz?
Phase 3?
Phase 3. It sounds like activating a Death Star or something, doesn't it? Like Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3, we blew up Alderaan.
Phase 3, they're bringing in the real zoo, man. They're bringing in Lizard and Killer Pigeon, guys. Check us out again in the Phase 3. We're gonna be bringing the good stuff, man. The best stuff.
I tell you what, it's a good thing we're having a break because it just suddenly sounds like your voice is about to die.
My voice? No,
yeah, you went a bit funny there.
It's entering Phase 3, man. That's what's up.
It's evolving.
No, I'm actually dying. Like my throat is just done.
Well, that's good then. You get a few days breaks, guys. We will be back on the 9th and 10th to round out Phase 3. But don't worry, each day there's more action coming. I believe Bot TI starts up tomorrow as well. So plenty to keep you busy here on the BTS channel.
Are you gonna miss the chat though? Are you gonna miss all the flames?
I always miss the chat. I try and come in every once in a while and go, "Hi guys," and they just go, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah, feels bad, man. Chat, I'm gonna miss you definitely, especially the guy that flamed me and said my analysis is useless. But and there's a special place in my heart for you as well, dude. A very small place, you little.
That's not your heart. Anyway. That's your colon. Okay.
Yeah.
But guys, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. More action tomorrow, and tomorrow's action will kick off at 5 p.m. CEST. So be sure to tune in that. And we'll be back in a few days' time. See you then, guys.